data driven testing using a text file and data driven testing using a properties file, and all those stuff I would like to cover in our today's class. Okay, so let's start that one then. Okay, so let's start that one. How can we perform data driven testing using a text file? Okay, how can we perform a data driven testing using a text file? Okay, the way how can we perform a data driven testing using a text file is, first of all, create a text file and write some information into the file. Write some information into the file. Okay, create a text file and write some information into that particular file. So let me do that. I'm just going back to my D drive, where in which I'm creating a new text file. Okay, I'm just creating a new text file and I am naming that file as Gayatri. Okay, so I just named it as a Gayatri. So I just created a text file with a name as a Gayatri. Soon after I created this file, let me open this one, where in which I am entering Ramesh, Suresh, Ramya, Daya. I just entered the information separated by delimiter as a comma. Okay, I just entered the information separated by delimiter as a comma, and I am entering the information in a new line. Okay, in the new line, I am stating it as Priya, Sushma, Ravi, Pavan, Bitu, and Daya, Sangeeta. See here guys, I have entered some kind of an information into this particular file now. Okay, I have entered information into this particular file now. Soon after entering the information, the next step is just save this particular file. Okay, whatever the one we have created now, just save this particular file. Okay, so let me save this file. Save it. That's fine. See here, I created a file and I saved this file with a name as a gayatri.txt in my local machine. Okay, I just created a file and I saved that file with a name as a gayatri.txt in my local machine. So I need to write down a program in my Webdriver which needs to call the information present in that particular file. Generally, we know that, okay, the point what exactly we need to know over here is, we need to write down certain Java commands. We need to write down certain Java commands which will be calling the information from a file. We need to write down a certain command which will be calling the information present in the text file whatever we have created. Okay, so let's create our own program. Right click, new class, data driven using a text file. Data driven using a text file. Save this information. See, let me open this JXL jar file. If you remember, in this particular script, we have a specified a file location. We opened that file and then we selected the file and we selected the sheet and all those stuff, right? So whenever we are trying to access the information from a text file also, the steps would be one and the same, which is selection of that particular file and later specify the file location and then selection of that particular file. These two are the major important things what exactly we need to specify in our scripts. Okay, so these two are the major important things what exactly we need to specify in our script. So I have created a script where in which I just entered the information stating that file input stream FIS is equal to new file input stream of D drive. My file name is gayatri.txt. Copy that and update that information. So gayatri.txt is my file name and I am asking it to open the file and to store the file instance in a BR. Okay, store the file instance in a BR variable. Right now, BR dot read line is the method which is gonna read the line from that particular file. Whatever the file we have specified, the file we have specified is d drive gayatri.txt. It will read that particular line. Okay, it will read that particular line. Just place your cursor on a read line method. It is stating that the return statement is a string for this one. Okay, the return statement is a string for this one. So here I'm just changing it as string line is equal to. Line is a variable where in which I'm storing whatever the first line information is there in my file. I'm just storing that. Where is my file? In my file, my first line is Ramesh, Suresh, Ramya and Daya. Right? Let's go back. Let's try to print this information. System.out.println. First line information is plus line. Let's run the script and check out whether the first line information is being printed to the console or not. See, it's been executing that. See here, Ramesh, Suresh, Ramya and Daya information got printed to the console. Ramesh, Suresh, Ramya, Daya information got printed to the console. That's fine. Done up to here. So it's been printing the information. That's fine. So below command will read the line and it will print the information. And now after printing that, see it's a string. Usually on a string there are a various kinds of methods that we have. On a string we do have a various kinds of methods using which we can perform n number of operations on a string. The one what I would like to do over here is, see every name is separated by a delimiter as a comma, right? Every line is separated by a delimiter as a comma. So the point what exactly I need to do over here is, wherever comma comes into a picture, split it. So store it in a different variable. That's how I would like to perform that. So how I am gonna do that one means, see here, my string is a line dot split. Within the braces, I am specifying that wherever comma comes into a picture, split the string. And whenever you place your cursor on a split, it is stating that a string of an array type. It is a string of an array type. It is a string of an array type. So here I am stating that string values is equal to. String values is equal to. Okay, so here what exactly we have a specified means string values is equal to, I just specified that stuff which is an array type. Values is an array type where in which we are storing multiple values of string data types in this. Okay, and then we know that values, okay, values dot length is the method which will print total number of values, which will print total number of values present in that file, present in that particular file. That's fine, done up to here. So let's see that now. See here, system.out.println total values in the first line are plus values dot length method. Now run the same script again and check out how exactly the count it returned to the console. There are around 4 values are there in the drop down. There are around 4 values are there in that particular drop down. That's fine. So finally done up to here. Okay. I just specified up to here. Okay. After that, after that, the next point, what exactly I need to do over here is I need to use a simple for loop. So I need to use a simple for loop. So here I need to use a simple for loop. Okay, I need to use a simple for loop to print all the values from the drop down. So for int I is equal to 0, I less than values dot length I plus plus. Now system dot out dot println. Okay, so I am printing that values of I. So I'm just printing that values of I. Okay, I'm just printing values of I. For int I is equal to 0, I less than values dot length I plus plus, printing the total number of values. Let's run the script and check out in your application. See here, all the values are got printed to the console. Okay, wherever comma comes into the picture, all the values got printed to the console. But if you observe, this set is just printing only the first line information. In the text file, we do have a multiple lines of information, out of which this method, the logic, whatever we have implemented, is just printing only the first line information itself. But my intention is I don't want to print the first line information. I would like to print all the lines of information. Okay, I would like to print all the lines of information. Okay, how can I do that? I can use a simple while loop which will be printing all the lines of information. Okay, I can use a simple while loop which will be printing all the lines of information. So what exactly the loop I am defining over here is, okay, so before going into that, I'm just copying a code, or else I'm just commenting the code which is reading this line. So comment this stuff up to here and the comment up to here. Okay, just a comment up to here. Done. So once we are done up to here, the next point what exactly I need to do here is, okay, I need to write down a while loop. So where in which prior that I am defining a string s is equal to br dot read line, and I'm just reading this line and I'm comparing that not is equal to null. So whenever that particular line is not equal to null, then only execute this loop. Where in which I am specifying that string s1 is equal to s dot splits wherever comma comes into a picture. Wherever comma comes into a picture, I'm just splitting that and I'm just storing it in a s1 variable. Later, I'm just copying the above for loop and I'm pasting it out over here, where in which I'm specifying it as a s1 dot length and a s1 of I. For int I is equal to 0, I less than s1 of length I plus plus, and system dot out dot println s1 of I. I'm just asking it to print s1 of I itself. So let's run the script. The logic whatever I have written is printing all the values present in the file. The reason is we have added a simple while loop where in which we are asking that the loop significance is go to till the last line from the loop or else from the file. Whatever the last line is there, move up to the last line from the file. Okay, from the starting of the file till the ending of the file, go to the last line, go to the last line of the file and then enter the information, gather the information and split it out. Right now it's just printing the information, but I don't want to print just the information to my console. I would like to use that information in my browser. Driver is equal to new Firefox driver, and then I'm opening driver.get http www.bing.com, and let me open the bing.com in a Firefox browser. I just opened the bing.com application. So from that bing.com application, get this ID property. See here, this object is having an ID as a sb underscore form underscore q. Go to the for loop, driver dot find element by dot id dot send the keys of s1 of I. Whatever it is printing to the console, just enter it to this particular field, and later after entering the value, clear that field. Okay, after entering that value, clear that field. Now just run the scripts. Right click, run as a Java application. So I'm just executing my program now. It's been executing the test script. So it was supposed to enter the value present in that file. What are all the values are there in that particular file? All the values it needs to enter. See, every value got entered into that particular file. See, whatever the values it got printed simultaneously, all the values got entered into this file. That's fine, done up to here. Okay, that's fine, done up to here. So this is the way how can we print the information, okay, or else how can we access the information present in a text file using a WebDriver program. Okay, so this is the way how can we access that. And even we do have another option, which is to access the information present in a properties file. So what does a properties file means? The simple thing is, in our today's class I will show you how to create a properties file, but in our tomorrow's class I will be continuing this scenario, guys. Okay, I will be continuing this scenario, how to work on this properties file. I will show you in our tomorrow's class, but for the today's class I will show you. Okay, but for our today's class I will show you how can we handle or else how can we create this properties file. I will show you in a today's class. So for which I'm just creating a new. So far we have created a Java classes and all those stuff, but right now I'm just creating a file where in which I'm naming it as a OR file. Okay, I'm just naming it as a OR file. So this is a file where in which I can define browser is equal to Firefox, username is equal to Ramesh, password is equal to test1234, and not only that, bing dot id property is equal to, see here, get the id property from here and paste it out. So it means in this file we can store any information, not only the variables, even we can store it the object properties also. Okay, we can store the object properties also using this properties file. Okay, so whatever the information we have defined over here, we can use this information in our program. See how we have seen to use the information present in an Excel file and as well as a text file. The same way we need to access that information in our programs too. Okay, so how we are gonna access this information, all this stuff, let's study in our tomorrow's class, guys. Okay,